Let's get in it.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Man, what a draggy Monday.
Yeah,
But
it's
pretty
a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah. And we're getting a lot of things done for the future of our 2023.
Yeah.
So
I don't know how
it's important.
I don't know how I feel on doing all these on Mondays. I think podcasts from now on need to be moved to later in the week.
Wednesday.
Yeah. It's too much going on.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And you know, part of when I look at the loss of the week, and it's not, I guess, loss of the week or potential profit gained, or potential profit not realized, I guess would be the same as a loss, right?
Yeah.
But when you have a coin shop, everything is focused on one thing and one thing only, and that's the customer experience. Right. Yeah. You have to absolutely do whatever it takes to make sure that your customers have a good experience. Some of the, I remember like telling people about kind of what I did when I was younger in my mid 20s and stuff. And I would get a lot of flack from people because coin shops tend to have a stigma attached to them that a lot of times is negative because of the interaction with the customer or the interaction with the owner or employee of the coin shop and the customer. Because, okay, so when you go to Best Buy and buy a TV, you have numerous examples on display. The pricing is right there. You've probably done some homework or something already before you got in there, right?
Know what you want to spend, know what you want,
exactly.
What size.
Got your budget, you got the space, you know what's going to fit. So if you're going in for 65, 85 is not going to fit, right?
Sure.
So you know you're limited basically to brand.
Yeah, you're
right?
like, man, can I get a 72 up? Maybe I can get 70.
Can I squeeze that 73 in there?
Do they make those 73?
Yeah.
Maybe.
So I think a lot of times people expect that same type of sparring with a, customer service guy from Best Buy. But when you come into a coin shop, it's completely different. And a lot of times coin shops skew to older people.
Yeah.
Right.
And pawn shops.
Right. And you've got guys that, and I say traditionally, this is not a one size fit all, but I'm saying it does skew normally in an older, there's older guys working the counter, right? Our guys, it's completely opposite. We have a bunch of young guys that we've taught the same way that we kind of came up in the coin shop, right? So we don't have a bunch of grumpy old men up there, retirees from the coin club that are, short and, right?
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, that's one thing that you could say we lack, but we just have a lot of younger individuals, professionals that have been with us for 10 plus years. And a lot of them have taken, kind of come up with us as well with the shop and, growing with all the growing pains and everything, all the customers we've dealt with. So, there's a lot of different hats. Yeah.
Well, that's a good point, right? So, and this is exactly, this is a good segue into exactly what I'm about to say is that with that, if you're going to be relied on or counted on in an environment like this to wear multiple hats, you better be prepared to wear them every day.
Yeah.
Right. It's not something you turn on or turn off, right? It's something that you dedicate your professionalism to. This is something that you've agreed to do. When we have, let's just say Nick, for an example, who's going to be our product guy, and he's going to make sure that all the products are in sync in terms of pricing, photos, descriptions, a whole 9 yards, so that the people that are in the eBay department or online department don't necessarily, they'll be able to pick from products that were already approved and pricing that we already approved via our structure. Okay. So leading into the loss of the week, we had an employee that was forced to come out of the back to work up front.
Yeah.
He sold 20 gold bars to a customer at spot
price.
Yeah. What would make somebody do that is just absolutely bonkers to me. I mean, I can't even then I just was catching myself trying to understand how in the world did that even, how is that even possible?
Yeah, he said he was on the calculator hitting numbers and the ending number was spot price somehow.
So he cost us $1,600 essentially.
Yeah.
Right. And the customer got a good deal. Congratulations. And that's okay. We want to give good deals, but sometimes, there's a difference between charity and a good deal, right? And to me, that's charity.
Sure.
Right. And if it comes down to charity, then I want to pick who I give my money to.
Yeah.
Not, Joe Blow customer.
Sure.
It's not that we don't want to give Joe Blow customer a great price and a great product, but there is a fee for that.
Yeah. It's just a bad, customer walks away. He's like, what? He obviously made a mistake. He just sold me bars for spot. What it, he's,
Yeah, Nick will be his favorite new employee.
Yeah, there's no, that's right.
Right. I'm looking for Nick. I'm only want to deal with Nick. I don't want to deal with anybody else, just him. He normally comes from the back. I think he's a little slow, slow in the uptake, and I want to.
Yeah, he doesn't work the front.
Yeah. So properly staffing, right? And we've gone over this time and time again. We look at the customer data. We look at how many people come in daily. We figure in lunch breaks and employee breaks and things like that, and try to make sure that we stock the store with enough able bodies to be able to, because we have a lot of products.
Yeah.
So it's not just the selling. Right now we're skewing probably 60-40 sell to buy, but there's still a lot of people looking, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of people looking at stuff. Sure. I'd say jewelry's completely died down. Watches are, they're okay.
Yeah, they're okay.
Coins are actually still pretty hot in comparison to what they've been in previous years. And even with this crazy market that we have just kind of come out of, we're still pretty busy selling coins. Coins are still selling.
Coins and paper. Yeah, they're good.
Coins and paper. That's right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, a loss of the week, I guess it's a good one because it brings up other things that go with it. It's not just a loss that you incurred, but it's also, okay, how can I prevent this from happening again?
Yeah. Right.
And what caused Nick to come from the back in the first place? How did we not manage it correctly?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it's us, right? It really, we can say, yeah, Nick, you should have done that and you should have done this. And that's easy to kind of put it on Nick, but I like to sometimes look and see where my problem was. Yeah. What did I do?
Why did he go up to the front? Why didn't one of us go to the front?
Or why wasn't there enough people there on Saturday to take care of the customer flow?
Yeah.
Right. And is this something that's an ongoing problem, or is this something that's a one-off and, shame on Nick and we move on down the street? But I still think it's worth an investigation to look into. And I just learned about it right here. So I'm not really prepared for it, but
yeah, no, it's definitely, it's a little of everyone's fault, but mostly Nick's.
Pretty much. I was trying to take some responsibility, Nick, but I really don't see where I can. You made a horrible decision, but we still love you. And, that's our brotherhood. But we're not going to let anybody off the hook.
Well, we're definitely not going to say his name. I mean, it's Nick.
I wouldn't say Nick's name on our podcast. No. I mean, why would I put that negative attention on Nick?
Yeah. It's not his fault.
That would be horrible of Nick. Yeah. Right?
Right.
Or horrible of me to do that to Nick. Which I wouldn't do that because we have a brotherhood, right?
It's true.
Yeah. The brotherhood is we're going to drop you in the grease.
Also, we have a really cool coin. I mean,
we have a lot of cool coins.
It's up here. Can't see it.
Oh, for coin of the week, you mean?
Yep.
You bought it?
Coin of the week.
Nice. Hey, Aliv.
We'll have to take a photo of this one.
Are you putting photos of these as we go? Yep. Okay. Yeah, make sure we do that so that I don't want to rely on this image.
Right.
Yeah. And then is this coin's available on our website?
It is.
Heck yeah. Oh, that is a cool coin.
Go Breck Dollar.
Yeah, so it's a Rattler, right?
In a Rattler holder.
Cool.
Yeah, very cool.
It is.
Someone collecting
obviously
Rattlers would be a pretty cool.
It is obviously ill-aligned. Cool.
Yeah. Low mintage of 1,000. I think PC only showed a few hundred of them.
Yeah, it's Breck.
So
it's cool. Original. Yeah, it is cool.
Right?
Yeah. So, sweet.
Great great coin for the website.
Cool. All right. And how did that get to us?
It's something we bought. Yeah, we bought in the last week.
Okay, cool.
And just thought it was a
really great cool coin. I mean, super original.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
And that's something you see in everyone's coin shop. So it's cool that we have.
It's a Breck Dollar, right? I mean, they're kind of steady Eddie. They've traded about the same for as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
If you ever need one, they're pretty easy to find, and they always look just like that.
They look just like that. Yeah.
You just have that kind of dark original.
Especially AU one. But
yeah. Although it's a it's not really AU. It's actually a really nice coin.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that coin didn't sticker. Can I see it again, please? Surprised that coin didn't sticker. Coin's actually really nice. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, it's got some stuff going on. I mean, it's
some good stuff because it's on the website.
Yeah. Well, we want to be honest. We have a buyback, so you can always test us if you don't like
Lots of good stuff. All right. So, yeah. So, no, it's actually not a bad coin at all.
So, what about, have y'all got, is there any scams that we can talk about?
Yeah, let's talk about some scam of the week. Got a couple. So,
love a good scam.
Let's run out with, we have a couple. So, the first one, I definitely want to just shed some light on. We've had a couple people, dealers, and this actually happened in our store where a customer they were coming in to sell some diamonds. At the time, they were shown to us as natural diamonds with an appraisal, just like a standard buying over the counter experience. And well, we found out that they were actually lab grown. They weren't natural diamonds. Well, they were naturally grown in a lab. And and so we went through the buying process, and not till we used our wonderful machine that we found out that it was lab grown. So something to look out for. Just because they have an appraisal doesn't mean you go by that appraisal or appraiser. Do your own homework. Don't get in a rush, and don't take everyone's word for it.
It really, the whole lab thing really, nobody cares about lab grown stones. I mean, and if they do, I shouldn't say nobody because that kind of closes the door, but I see a very small percentage of people
that actually care if it was grown in a lab.
No, well, I mean, that
want to buy them.
They don't want to buy them.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Another buyback deal is kind of tough.
Yeah. So it does open the door for people to be unscrupulous, right?
Sure.
That's really 100% what you have to take care of and look out for is just, and like Matt said earlier, if the appraisal, the question that you're going to ask is, how do I know? Well, one thing is to be able to really understand how to get a millimeter gauge, right? And actually do all of your basic, your basic fact finding. I'm missing the word here, but do your basic process of how do you buy diamonds in the first place. And I never buy them off of an appraisal. Yeah. I use the appraisal as a guide, but 9 times out of 10, it's not anywhere close to the appraisal. So if you're buying stones based on appraisal, you're wrong.
Yeah.
It's just, you're out. Don't do that. You need to, use the appraisal, keep it in the back of your mind, but it's not the tell-all. It's not the say-all. If you want to do that, send the stone to GIA. It's $150 or something. Either pay for it or have the customer pay for it. That's the best way to do it. If you don't feel comfortable and you don't want to lose the deal, then offer to send it out. Now, the pushback you're going to get is 9 times out of 10, the customer does not want to send send the stone to GIA.
Right.
They feel like it's like this crazy, red tape, and it's about the easiest thing in the world to do.
How do you know it's my stone? How do you know it's my diamond? Is usually the question. But I agree. I mean,
GIA is a worldwide known brand. That's the absolute
like submitting coins to PC or NGC.
Why would you think otherwise?
Yeah,
crazy.
The appraisals, they never benefit the they benefit the
person that's selling it,
right?
No, they benefit the seller, the person that sells it to the customer. That's who they benefit. It's always it's a vehicle to get more money for the product initially.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, basing it off of the appraisal, you're always gonna lose on that. So,
of course,
definitely want to do your own homework and not. Sometimes when a ring is set, you can get the weight if it was. But even that, I would still do my own. Like you said, take your measurements and do your own.
I'd have to ask Anthony I haven't really gotten into the day-to-day buying stuff anymore on diamonds, but we have a cutoff. Like we have a store policy. So if the stone's mounted, we pull anything. I think it's over a carat.
Yep. Over a carat.
Okay. So anything over a carat, we pull and do our own homework on. Even if it could have 10 certs. It could have 9 GIAs and 1 IGI.
Yeah.
Or AGL or whatever those EGL, whatever. it could have literally 5 or 6 different ones, and we're gonna do our own test. We're gonna do our own. We're gonna get our own information. We're gonna buy it based on that information.
Sure.
Everything else is a guide. Now, if it's got a GIA, obviously,
that's different.
You know, unless if it's inscribed by GIA, then that's one thing. But that's very rare.
Yeah, that's very rare.
Yeah, it's very rare. So yeah, I mean that's a pretty, you know, it is unfortunate, but it is a scam, you know, and you gotta if you're gonna buy diamonds, you know, in every coin shop, as you should, you know, I just feel like if you're open to the public to buy, then you need to buy everything in the space.
Yeah. So
right, I mean you should be proficient enough to buy everything in the space and trade it.
So buy the tools, learn how to use them.
Yeah. It's a great revenue stream.
Watch the podcast.
Watch it. It is. I mean, it's a great revenue stream. I mean, we made a killing on diamonds.
Yeah.
And we've been able to do it in a fair way. And that's the best, you know, when you can tell a customer, this is what I'm going to pay, this is what I'm going to sell it for, and this is what I think it's worth, or I have the customer for it. It's at whatever that case may be, we do it in a fair way, and it's very transparent. It's very simple and easy to understand. Yeah.
And some customers don't care, but, you know, the information's there if they need it. So, yeah. But, all right. So we also have another scam of the week. We had an employee deal with a customer on some gold coins, and customer wanted to spend $10,000 in cash. So he did the transaction with them. I think it was it had to be done in the morning, and same day, later on in the afternoon, customer came back, somehow was dealing with a different employee, and the other employee was with the customer in one of the booths.
Okay.
And sat down, tried to make another purchase, and our system actually caught it. So the system caught that he was spending over $10,000 in cash, and that they were going to have to do $8,300. Of course, the customer was shocked and wanted to figure a different way out, and we told them that, you know, $8,300 is $8,300.
It's crazy to me. It's crazy. Where do people come up with this stuff? You know the law, you know the rules. Work within the rules or don't.
I guess I could have came out with the story. I mean, the story really was that he started thinking about it, and he wanted to come back and buy more, and you know, there's always a story of
it's always a story. Yeah, don't fall for the stories.
But yeah, he tried to really catch us off guard, make a second transaction, but our system, I mean, pulled it up right away. Yeah. So
that was one thing we did.
Obviously, he didn't want to make that purchase, you know, but
we were customizing that software. The 8300 aspect was something that we integrated early.
Yeah.
You know, and every coin shop should have a AML compliance officer.
Yep.
You know, or somebody that's on staff that you deem them to be.
Sure.
But that's stuff that you got to keep up with. There's some guys here locally that I've done business with that have none of that.
Yeah, and that's why these guys do it.
They have zero insulation from any of that, right? And they expect to get that service here, and they're not going to get it here.
Yeah.
Right? It's just not worth it. So
yeah, no, it's not. I mean,
be above board, stay above board, and everything's going to be fine. Right? It's just a slippery slope, and you don't want to go down it. I think we got Dinger on.
Dinger's on.
Dinger's on. So we're going to bring in Matt Dinger right now. I think Matthew said before from the Lost Dutchman Coin Shop. He does have the Coin Show podcast along with Mike Nodelman that is actually really good. We've listened to it. I've actually listened to it probably a year ago, and I never even really thought of even a podcast. People had came to us
before
saying, "Hey, y'all should do a podcast. Y'all should do a podcast." It was just not something that we ever had time to do. But we have time now, and we've made time, and we're glad that we've done it. It's been an awesome experience. We absolutely love it, and we love being able to bring other guys on that hopefully will add value to this podcast and give you guys some, give you some other perspective.